Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. The city of Springfield is working to connect businesses and hiring managers with individuals involved with the justice system who are coming out of prison or who have other legal issues but have never been to prison, and helping them, those who are trying to get back into the workforce. The Missouri Job Center is hosting a panel coming up later this week. It's on Wednesday, July 31st at the Missouri Job Center and starts at 8 a.m. To give us some more details about it and discuss this issue with us, we have Carmen May, and she is the Career Services Supervisor at the Missouri Job Center. Carmen, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about this panel, and let's start there. Who is it for exactly, and who will be on this panel?
Well, we set up the panel for businesses primarily. We have other partners coming in, but we'd like to get the information out to the businesses about hiring people that have legal issues in their background. On the panel, we'll have Ken Chapman from the State Office Department of Corrections. We'll have Tiffany Lamosi from Probation and Parole. Brian O'Connell, he is the warden at Ozarks Correctional Center. We'll have 3 participants that have been through the process, a business owner and a staff member.
So these are experts, people in the field who are working one-on-one and directly with individuals coming out of prison who are trying to get back into the workforce and the community.
Yes.
You said 3 individuals who have been through the program too. Is that the Apply program?
Yes, we offer the Apply program at Ozarks Correctional Center in Fordland, and it's a 6-week class there. We also offer it locally at our office on Sunshine, 2900 East Sunshine, and we offer it at our North office as well.
And you told me the Apply program, this is the first year you have had it, and you have had 70% of those who completed the program, a 70% rate of that have been placed with a job.
Yes.
That means they completed the program, got out of prison, and found the job. Correct. What kinds of jobs are they finding?
Well, when we teach the class, what we do is teach them to go to the places that they have the skills for. Where have they had that experience, and really focus on what they bring to the table and not the legal issues. We also work with them on being honest about the legal issues, not to deny them, because that's part of who they are now. We've had a variety of people go out. Some of the men have gone into apprenticeships with laborers union. Some have gone into lawn care. Some have gone into manufacturing. It's really been dependent upon where their skills lie.
Are these skills something they are doing in prison through different programs there, or something they were doing before they went to prison?
And it can be both.
Okay.
We had one gentleman that did the wastewater treatment program out at Ozarks Correctional Center, and he has a job in wastewater treatment. We have others that had more of their experience before they were incarcerated, and so they have gotten jobs from prior experience. Sometimes the only experience is the jobs they have while they've been incarcerated. So we take those skills and help them map out where would be a good starting point for them when they're released.
You also told me this is not necessarily just for people who have been to prison, but maybe someone who has had some legal issues, who is maybe on probation or still dealing with it through the courts, who have never been to prison.
Correct. The Applied class before you become incarcerated, or some people are never incarcerated, we've had for about 13 years in our office, and those people have obtained employment also. We really work with them on applications and how to fill them out correctly, help them with resumes, and help them talk about those legal issues. We take great pride in teaching them how to talk about those things that occurred in their past in a positive way, but still being honest about it. But really focusing on what they bring to the table, why they're the best candidate for the job, and not letting those past mistakes define them for the rest of their lives. When they get those employment opportunities, we have safer communities, we have families that are succeeding, we have men and women who remember who they were before they got in trouble. So it's a positive for everyone.
What are some reservations or some questions you often hear from hiring managers or businesses when it comes to this population, and they might have some reservations about it?
I think sometimes the concern is, are they just saying this? Are they going to commit the same crime again, or go back to having a problem? I have to say, statistically speaking, you're as safe and probably safer to hire someone that has a legal issue than someone just off of the street. The people that are getting out of prison need to prove themselves to themselves as well as to the people that are working with them right now. They're very interested in doing a better job, and they've made some great employees. Our employer that's going to be on the panel can talk about a lot of those successes that they have had. One of the things that we do inside Ozarks Correctional Center is having a hiring event. And so we have employers that come into the prison before everyone is released and find employment. Those men are releasing 2 jobs when they are released, usually within a couple of days.
And we have heard for a long time here in our area, even here in Ozarks Tonight, we have had interviews about how there is a shortage when it comes to skilled workers here in our area. Do you think this is the solution or part of the solution?
I think it's part of the solution. I think there are a lot of people that couldn't pass a background for one reason or the other. And if you exclude everyone that's done something of that nature, you've excluded about 1/4 of your workforce.
All right. And again, the panel discussion, Hiring Justice Involved Individuals, will be on July 31st from 8 to 10:30 a.m. at the Missouri Job Center. We'll have all of that information on our website. That's ozarksfirst.com. Carmen, thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back with more right here on Ozarks Tonight.